A common question is, when should I reach out to a lender to get pre-approved? And the goal of this video is to share the answer to that question and also explain why that's the case. Welcome to Keeping Mortgages Real, where we provide clear mortgage information so you can make better financial decisions. And if you have any questions mortgage related or need a pre-approval in Maryland, Virginia, or DC, reach out to us. We're at 3easysteps.me, spelled out just like it sounds, 3easysteps.me. It's best to reach out to a lender sooner rather than later to get pre-approved. In 20 years of the mortgage industry, I have never seen an individual who got pre-approved early in the process regret doing so. I've seen many people who got pre-approved early in the process very glad they did so because they either avoided some pitfalls or wound up getting a better deal than if they reached out later in the process. Strongly recommend reaching out earlier rather than later to a lender just to get pre-approved. There's some common questions and concerns that people have that steer you away from getting pre-approved earlier in the process that I want to address because they're really good questions and concerns, but what's on the internet is not essentially accurate, and it'll steer you away from something that is probably an action that's in your best interest. So we want to go over these and discuss that. But before going there, again, if you have any questions on this topic, like some follow-up questions, just feel free to reach out to me at 3easysteps.me. I'd be happy to continue the discussion live. The first concern people have is, doesn't a pre-approval expire? Like, if I go through all the work now, isn't it going to expire at a certain date? And then after that, I'm going to have to redo all the work over again. And the answer to that is actually, surprisingly, pre-approvals are not like a gallon of milk. They don't expire on a certain date. So as long as your income and your job's the same, money in the bank's the same, your credit and your debts are the same, your pre-approval is going to be good for a very long time. That said, if you ever have job changes or changes in your money situation or have to buy a new car or something like that and get a car loan, you would want to update your pre-approval. But updating is just calling your lender and sharing new information so they could revise the pre-approval and tell you what the new pre-approval would be based on your new circumstances. Even then, you don't need to rework everything. You just need to do a quick update to the work you've already done. It makes a ton of sense to get pre-approved earlier rather than later because it's the same work. You don't have to rework anything, and you get all the benefits by knowing everything up front. Also, a common question is, since a pre-approval involves pulling a credit report, doesn't that hurt my credit? Now, again, this is something that I want to share based on the 2 decades I've been doing this, is that well, let me back up. If it's a credit card company pulling credit, it absolutely hurts your credit. However, if it's a mortgage company pulling credit, it's like a little paper cut and it heals quickly. Now, this statement is based on, I've talked to people who have testified in front of Congress on credit scores. They're credit score experts. I've also been doing this, 20 years, and I've seen people pull their credit multiple times in a given year. Let's say, for example, they purchased one home and they purchased a rental property and then they refinanced 2 homes. So they had their credit pulled multiple times in the same year. And essentially their credit score was just not permanently affected at all. And furthermore, I've actually done the same thing myself. I've bought a home and refinanced in the same year and wound up with several credit pulls over a given year. And my credit score was essentially unaffected by doing so. Pulling a credit by a lender is like having blood drawn at a annual physical. It's a little ouch at first, but it heals incredibly quickly, and the diagnostic benefits are enormous from that little pinprick, if you will. So having credit pulled by a lender is almost a no factor in terms of your credit score. And finally, I've had individuals like, well, isn't there a cost to get pre-approval? And the answer is no. A good lender worth their salt would never charge you for a pre-approval. That's a service that they provide free of charge. To recap, if you are thinking about when to get pre-approved, it really makes sense to get pre-approved early in the process. There's tons of benefits, and it really doesn't expire if nothing changes. Not a lot of rework. The impact on your credit score is negligible, if that, and there's no cost to doing so. So lots of benefits, hardly any cost. It's a really good thing to do. Again, if you have any questions or want to continue the discussion or have questions, just reach out to me at 3easysteps.me, and good luck in your home search. And until next time, hope you have a great day.